Welcome to the DPost for All Season Sports Show. I'm Drew Rubenstein. I'm here with Dave Racy. And Dave, the WVU men's basketball team opens up the season Friday against Mount St. Mary's at the Coliseum, coming off of Coach Huggins' worst season and since his first year coaching, 13-19 season. The roster once again has been reshuffled. They've only got 5 newcomers. They could be opening up the season with as few as 8 scholarship players. I guess we'll just start with what's kind of your state of the WVU men's basketball program?
Well, usually when the football team's not doing well, everybody says wait till basketball season, but I don't hear anybody saying that today. This time, this is probably the least optimistic I would say fans are going into the basketball season, both based on last year and then all the trouble with the recruiting, 2 players not eligible, another one injured now, and obviously they're having a manpower shortage. They had defections of some players last year from last year's roster who played key moments. So it's anybody's guess, what's going to come out of this season. But, last year they had not high hopes, but at least a little higher hopes than they have this year. Anyway, we all saw that didn't work out real well. So maybe the chemistry's better, I don't know, but on paper it doesn't look real promising.
Is it surprising to you that we're here having this kind of a conversation just a few seasons after the Final Four run and the basketball practice facility opening up?
Absolutely, because those things should have been big benefits to the recruiting, and it just hasn't seemed to pay off. I mean, we lost one class almost entirely, and we've had nothing but problems, it seems like, with keeping players in here. So I'm not too sure something's going on there, but it hasn't paid off, and it's getting to the point now where it's going to be, I think, tougher and tougher to recruit good players, despite having the facilities now.
Coach Huggins came in as a legend, I think, in a lot of fans' minds, and carried that through for his first 3 or 4 seasons. Last year was the first one that just kind of fell off completely. He had been to the NCAA tournament before that. But how important is this season to Coach Huggins? Does he really need to rebound and get him back into the tournament, or does he still get another buffer year?
I think he gets a year off here, I think, based just on all the changes and stuff. Plus his contract is guaranteed, and he has a reputation that's well-deserved. So I don't think you're going to make any drastic moves. Plus, we may or may not be having a new athletic director. So I think this year is sort of going to be another pass, and then maybe if the players he has now that are not quite eligible and some of the other young ones, he'll have them all back for the next year, will give him a better chance. But, I would say he would get a pass this year.
He gets a pass this year. When you look at his at his roster and the way that you mentioned earlier that it's kind of been in flux, is it the state of college basketball where guys are coming and going, or do you wonder if there's other underlying issues here at play that's the cause for WVU's roster to have switched over so much?
Well, I think there's a lot of issues. The one way of people losing early is going to the pros, which we haven't had to worry about. Mm-hmm. Like Michigan lost their backcourt last year because they all turned pro. But I think that there should be a more steady talent pool coming in, players, getting the system. I just don't know if they're recruiting correctly. Staten came in here when we only had 2 point guards, and he comes in as a 3rd point guard, and I'm not too sure. I know they're trying to bring in bigger players now, and you can never have enough bigger players. But it is some of the kids now get impatient, and they want to start right away, and so that could be some of it too. But I think they've got to do a little bit better job in making these kids make sure they qualify. That hurts when your kids come in and then they don't qualify. It can't help you.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've been in that situation with a couple guys. When you look at it too, do you wonder if it's poor recruiting or if it's issues once they're in the program of not getting them totally bought in, or is it a combination of both?
I would say combination. I don't know. It doesn't seem like maybe they're doing their homework, or when you think kids are going to instantly turn things around when they haven't been academically strong in high school, and then suddenly because you have tutors or whatever. Sometimes I think it's a wish more than anything, and I think they need to start looking a little closer at these kids in high school, how they performed, and off the court as well as on.
Does this remind you at all, just the state of the basketball program of other years or other situations of covering the team?
It doesn't really. I mean, we've had bad teams before, but they've usually had enough players. They've been there and playing. I mean. It's just it's a little bit bizarre. I've never seen it. Things may change with the turnovers and stuff. Maybe they didn't turn over as much, but the recruiting of not getting these kids into school and to be able to play is new to me that I've seen at West Virginia.
Well, I guess looking at what could be at least exciting for fans on Friday night and into the season, you saw Nathan Adrian play some at Morgantown High School, and I know you've mentioned Kevin Noreen, and they returned Jawan Staten, Aaron Harris, Terry Henderson. Who are some guys that you think could develop and could be good quality players?
Well, I'm thinking Noreen's going to be a surprise. I think with Kalichla gone, that'll give him that territory in there. And frankly, I think he has to do better than Kalichla did. I think he'll be a quicker, smarter player, maybe a little better outside shot. I like Adrian. I think he's going to be a good all-around player. Might be able to do a lot of things. That's even what Morgantown High used him for. A lot of different things. He seems very versatile. Staten is the guy. He's got to run the team now. We lost Jabari Hines. We have Gary Brown back, but right. I think it's sort of his team to run, and he has to come through like he did when he was at Dayton.
Absolutely. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this team comes together, and Dave, I appreciate your time once again.
Well, thank you.
And please continue to check TheDPost.com for all the latest on the Mountaineers. Appreciate you watching today.